Hello friends, and welcome back to my crafty space. My name is Crystal, and in today's video, I am going to be doing an unboxing and project planning process video using the recent Feed Your Craft release. So this kit is called, actually, I don't even know, it's called Time of Day is the name of this kit, and it is super awesome. I cannot wait to show you everything that is included. Before we get to that, I do want to show you the add-on stamp that is also releasing this month. So this stamp set is called In the Kitchen and has all kinds of kitchen related or cooking related sentiments. I'm trying to find something with the white background so I can show you this. So we've got sentiments like cooking, favorite family recipe, holiday, everyday, perfection, home cafe, home cooked, homemade, yum with a fork and a spoon, a mixer, a microwave, a crock pot, a skillet, kitchen adventures. This meal was simple, healthy, so tasty, baking, tastes as good as it looks in the kitchen. So many really fun sentiments for documenting all of those stories about the things that you are creating in your kitchen and the things that you are eating in your home. So that is the add-on stamp. Again, that one was called In the Kitchen. So for the rest of this, let me set some of this to the side and then we'll go through it. So let's start with our 4x6 journaling cards. We have a lot of time and day related sentiments and cards and patterns are in this kit. So we start off with AM and PM. Mornings look like this, evenings look like this. And we've got a spot where you can add either journaling or a photo. I love the colors of those, and I love the idea of documenting different parts of the day. This one says Sunday through Saturday all over it. So just a repeated Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and over and over and over again. This is an awesome title card. It could be the intro to a mini album, or just a pattern that you could add some decorations to or some embellishments to in the middle. This says, this is my favorite time of day. We've got a word search here that the words that it is searching for are all kinds of day or time of day words. So like we've got Friday, Monday, afternoon, morning, routine, today, schedule, Thursday. So all kinds of different words in here in this word search, which is really fun as well. And then the last card here is, it's got like stars and moons on it, or they might not be moons, but they're little circles that are like a blue, a navyish blue, and then a lighter blue with yellow stars on a cream background with this white area at the bottom. Again, these are one of my favorite types of cards to use as title cards because you can add your week and your number here at the bottom. You can also throw an embellishment on here and use this as a decorative card, all different sort of things that you can do. You could also take a circle punch and punch out right here. So you've got half circles that have half the pattern and half the white, and you could use those as journaling bits. Maybe that's something that I'll try doing with that card this time. I actually think that's a pretty cool idea. Next, we have our 3x4 cards. So we have this one that has like a rainbow rectangle shape here. So fun. I love that. Today's story, this has this little section on it that makes it look like washi tape. So where you can add some journaling or a photo in the middle. Again, we've got, where's the AM? It's in here somewhere. Did I just drop it down? No. Oh, no, it's back there. No. Well, there's PM. We have PM, but there's also AM in here too. I'm going to see if I can find that one as well, just so you can see. There it is. So we have AM and PM. So you could totally add these into a 3x8 type of card where you have the AM on the top and the PM on the bottom. You could use these as journaling cards. You could add photos to them. We also have a morning routine and evening routine, again in those similar colors as the 4x6 cards, with space for photos or journaling. And then we've also got a sun and a moon. You could leave these as is and have them just be decorative. You could also cut these out and make them into embellishments. I think that would be really fun as well. And then we just have some other cards that are more generalized. So this was the best part of today, with somewhere where you can add some stuff into the middle. We've got a number pattern here. There is this pink grid that's also got some washi looking stuff at the bottom there. And then this one that says today, and it has, 1 through 6 and 7 through 12, and then AM and PM. This one at first sight, I thought would be really cool to do something digitally with it where you could blow it up really big and then maybe add in some strips where you could put journaling, or you could put journaling or photos in here to represent different times of the day. So maybe you do, 6 or 12 different stories from 12 different times in the day. So that was just a thought that I had as I was looking at that card. In addition to the cards in this kit, there are also 2 sheets of stickers. The first one is a time sticker. So you have 1 through 12 and then 1 through 12. So you could document a full 24 hours if you want, or 2 12 hours, or however you want to mix that up in there. There's also morning, afternoon, evening, and routine down at the bottom. And then this one has Monday through Sunday in addition to a this week. These are made almost to look like tabs, I think. So I think that would be a really fun way to use these. Or if you're working on a week of Project Life, these could be really fun to add to the bottom of 7 different photos that represent the 7 different days in the week. So another fun way to use those. Then we've got circles. So it was a good day, rise and shine, sweet dreams, time flies, AM, PM, 3 stars, a moon, and a sun. And those are our stickers. Finally, we've got the stamp set that comes with it. So this one we have time to, and then a checklist. So start the day, make coffee, make more coffee, take a nap, go to bed. There is a checklist here that you can fill in your own blanks with a check and an X, which is really fun. And then there are a bunch of different labels in these rectangle shapes. So me, my, to, time, for, work, breakfast, lunch, dinner, you, snack, coffee, chores, errands, school, prayer, create, play, family, friends, nap, and exercise. And then at the bottom, oh, and there's an ampersand too. At the bottom, we have evening, night, good, afternoon, morning routine. So you can mix and match all of these different sentiments to work for whatever sentiment you want to create for your own spread. So that is our time of day kit, which is super fun. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and put you on fast forward, and I am going to work on setting aside a couple of different stories that I can tell with this kit. My goal is to get a week of Project Life out of this, and then I'm thinking I might also do something day in the life-ish themed for my children. So maybe I'll use the AM and PM stuff for that. I'm not totally sure at this point. So that will give me at least 2 stories plus a Project Life, and we'll see if I can get one more story out of that. We'll see as we're working, and we'll just kind of go from there. So let's go ahead and get you guys on fast forward. Okay, so to get started with actually project planning this month's kit, I am going to set everything to the side except for my 4x6 journaling cards. We're going to start there. Now, I immediately knew that I wanted to tell a story using the AM and PM cards. Not only do I love the sentiments of, what's happening, evenings look like this, mornings look like this, I think is what they say. And those really large AM, PM letters, I love those. But I also love the idea of documenting a day in the lens of AM versus PM or something to that nature. So those I immediately stuck up at the top. Then I also took the star and moon pattern paper or pattern card that I was talking about earlier, cutting into circles. As I was talking about that, I just knew that is exactly what I wanted to do with it. So I set that to the side. And then I'm also putting some of the evening related cards with it. So I've got the evening routine card. I've got the numbers that just is a blue on blue pattern. So even though that's not necessarily specifically nighttime related, the colors went really well. And then I also added the moon shape there, which is in the wonky circle. And I'm thinking I will just cut that out to use as an embellishment for that page. So I've got the evening set up at the upper right-hand corner. In the bottom right-hand corner, I also have pulled aside the morning routines cards, so kind of a companion story to the evening routine. So there's morning routine. I really loved the colors of the rainbow card, the rainbow rectangle card there. And then I also put the wonky sun in with that one as well. So for this AM PM, I pulled out the 3x4 AM PM as well and stuck it with the 4x6 ones for the time being. And then I also grabbed out the repeated Sunday through Saturday text or word card there. Just trying to figure out, how am I going to use those cards to help me tell a story? How can I document a story using that as my lens? I love the timestamp stickers, and I definitely want to use that in conjunction with all of the AM PM cards as well. And then everything that you see to the left-hand side is what I am setting aside for Project Life. So I've got a couple of 4x6 cards. I've got a couple of 3x4 cards. I added the Monday through Sunday stickers because I figure I'll probably put those on photos that represent each day of the week. And then I also put a couple extra stickers over there. This is a bit of what is included in that packet, and pretty much call that one good. So as I was looking through this, the cooking stamp here, I just documented a bunch of different food spreads using the Paper Person shop items. So I don't necessarily have any direct stories coming to mind necessarily. Maybe I'll do something with making homemade pizza once Aaron tries out a couple more types of homemade pizzas. So maybe if he can make 2 more variations, then I have 4 different pizzas that I could document, and that could be really fun with the cooking stamp. But the other thing I was thinking about with it is that I could just use it to create a bunch of embellishments, like stamp it out on some matte photo paper, white matte photo paper, and then fussy cut those out to use later on a project that I have on my bucket list of things to do. A short while ago, Laura Wanzik posted something on her Instagram about making her own cookbook. She took their recipes, typed them up, made them look really nice on, I don't remember how big it was, but a fairly large canvas, so maybe 8.5 by 11, and then printed those out and laminated them, and then used one of the disc punches to punch the side of it to add them to a disc. So then when she cooks the meal, all she has to do is take the recipe off of the discs and make it, and then wipe it down because it's laminated and put it back. So I thought maybe I would do something like that as well with some of our favorite recipes, and then I could use the stamp set to help me embellish part of those recipes, perhaps. So I don't know, it's just an idea for now, and I will stick it in a bag and contemplate on doing that later. For the rest of these stories, I went ahead and grabbed over my planning sheets, which, by the way, I offer all of these planning sheets for free. There is a link to the download in the description down below, and I have all of the sizes that I could think of, and I'm pretty sure I've got them all covered. So I pulled out for myself a 9x12 one that I will use for Project Life, even though I don't necessarily sketch out and design my Project Life spread, because I let that one be a little bit more, maybe a little bit more organic in terms of the stories and the layout of the spread. I wait until the Sunday after the week is done to go ahead and pull out photos and figure out where I want everything to go. And then, so for that particular page, I'm just going to write, Project Life week, whatever. I believe I'm going to put this on week 28 and add everything into the pocket to use later. I do designate the weeks for which I'm going to use specific kits. That helps me to keep in mind what photos I want to take throughout the week, especially if there's a lens that goes along with it. So like this one, I want to make sure to take pictures of every single day, at least one picture, and then to have some variation between the morning and the evening and that sort of thing. So I do like to go ahead and assign it to a week, and that helps me. It works for me anyway. So that is the stamp that I'm just throwing in a bag to contemplate making embellishments for. For the AM PM spread here, it's going to take me a little bit to figure out how I want this to look because I'm just not sure at this point. I'm thinking about making this into a 12 by 12. One of the things that I have recently started loving again is working in the 12 by 12 canvas size, but not in a traditional way. So I like to treat it as essentially a larger story canvas. So imagine the types of stories that I tell in my 6 by 8, but blowing them up to a 12 by 12 instead. So now I've got various sizes that I can work in to tell stories, and it just is whenever the inspiration strikes for that specific size. So I have a 12 by 12 story album. I have 6 by 8 story albums, multiples of them. And then I also have traveler's notebooks that I use as story albums. So nothing is necessarily chronological. Nothing is like specific to anything, except for I do have a story album for my son and a story album for my daughter. Those hold the stories that I tell specifically about each of them. Everything else goes into, a random album, just whatever size album the project is made for. And the same is true for the 12 by 12s. So for this 12 by 12, I'm thinking I will tell the story of my daughter's day. So take a picture every hour for 12 hours and just do a little bit of journaling about what she was doing for that hour of the day. So a day in the life for my daughter. And I thought it would be cool to fussy cut out the AM and the PM from these cards and to add those down one side of the page. And then on the opposite side of the page, at first I was thinking about adding my journaling and then having some kind of interactive flip element where you would open it up and see the photos. But then I was like, that's silly. I want the photos to be visible, and then let's make it interactive and open up to show the journaling. So I will grab a new page because I've sketched all over that one and it's not quite what I want. So I'm just going to pull out a different one to use instead. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 12 by 12 canvas, and on the right side of it for 9 inches by 12 inches, I'm going to add 12 3 by 3 photos. So one photo from each hour of the day. And then I will add the 12 timestamps onto those photos so that you can see exactly what time, or relatively what time, those photos were taken. Then on the left side, I'm going to create a flip out. So it is, when it's opened, it will be 6 inches wide by 12 inches tall. But when it is closed, it's going to be 3 inches by 12 inches. And on the outside, so when it's folded over, and you don't see the inside, I will put the AM and the PM on there. So AM at the top, PM at the bottom, and I'm either going to stamp the word 2, like TO, or I'm going to stamp the number 2 in the middle. I have a giant number stamp that could work in there. So that's probably what I'm going to go with. So it will say AM to PM, just to show that it's like the range of the day. Then when you flip it open, I'm going to line up those timestamps on the inside and add my journaling about what we did for that day, or what Izzy was doing for that day at all of those different hours. So this will be an interactive spread that will go in my 12 by 12 story album, and I'm pretty excited to get to work on that one. I think it will be really fun, and I think it will be a cool way to document something like this. So that is that one. For this next story, this is the evening routine. I decided I wanted to use this to tell a story for my son's story album. So this one is going to be the 6 by 8 size. I am going to go ahead and just cut some things out right now so that when I get to this, I can remember what it is I wanted to do. And I can also see a little bit of scale here as I'm sketching it. So I already knew that I wasn't going to use that journaling card as a journaling card, that I was for sure going to cut out that wonky circle. So I didn't have any hesitation, just grabbing my scissors and cutting it out. And then I also trimmed out the circle stickers as well, just so I could see their scale next to the moon there, which worked out for me. And then it'll make things a little bit easier too when I actually go to put this together later. And then I am also going to just take this card and punch it into a bunch of circles. We're just going to handle that right now. So I have a 2-inch circle here that I used to punch out circles that are half white and then half patterned. So I figured that those would be a cool place to add a little bit of extra journaling on the spread. Then I am using my 1.5-inch punch to punch out a couple more circles. And then I also used a 2.5-inch punch to punch out the section that was just the pattern. So now I've got some variation in my circles here. I think what I'll do with these is stack them at the top of a photo. So they look almost, when you get them all layered in together, it has almost the look of clouds, which I thought was nice for an evening routine type of story, clouds and being nighttime. So I'm going to layer those at the top of a 6x8 photo, which I will likely put outside of the page protector. So I'll make that 6.875 by 8.25. I'm going to take a picture of my son in his bed. I might do it at nap time instead of at bedtime, but that's okay because it just is representative of him going to bed. But the lighting is better during nap time, and he's a little bit more willing to take pictures for me at nap time versus bedtime. He's very wild at bedtime. So I think that will work. So I'll take a picture of him in his bed. So I just did a rough sketch of the angle that I wanted to get there. And then I will layer up the circles there at the top, add in some journaling into some of those circles. Some of them I also flipped over. So you've got the grid on the back instead of the pattern, and so I might leave those as they are. Then I've got the evening routine card where I'll add my journaling to it, and then the decorative card with the wonky moon in the middle will go on the right side, and those I'll just put in a 3x8 page protector that's divided with the 2 3x4 pockets. So it'll be a full page outside of the page protector and then a 3x8 page protector next to it, and I think that will work out nicely. For the last story that I set aside to tell, this one is the opposite. So this one is morning routines. I did the same thing where I just went ahead and cut out the wonky circle with the sun in it because I just knew already that that's what I wanted to do. And then I'm also going to go ahead and trim out these stickers as well. Again, just so I can see the scale and see how everything looks. One of them says Rise and Shine. One of them says AM. I like that the colors are yellow and red and how it goes really nicely with the morning routine card and then also with that rainbow card. For this one, I'm going to use the morning routine lens to tell a story for my niece's story album. So this is one more story album I have. I'm creating a 3x8 album, which actually is going to be 2 3x8 albums to document my niece's first year of her life. So I reach out to my sister-in-law generally about once or twice a month and just ask her to write up some journaling for me, tell me a story about blank, and then send me photos. So this month she is going to send me some journaling about their morning routine. What do they do in the morning to get ready for the day? How do they hang out together? That sort of thing. And then some pictures that are representative of the two of them in the morning. So I think that will be a really fun story. My niece right now is 6 months old. Actually, she's almost 7 months old. So it'll be really fun to look back on this time and see the difference between the mornings now versus the mornings in the future. The last card that I have, so I figured the rainbow one I might fussy cut out and put on top of the photo and then add the sun and that sort of stuff on there. And then there was that card that has the T with the times or the numbers. I'm thinking I'm just going to trim that out. So cut off the 6 through 10 or 6 through 12. 7 through 12, something like that, and just stick that on the right side of a card and add journaling to it on the left. If I end up not liking that, I might just trim the T today out entirely and use that maybe on one edge and then use the opposite side for journaling. So we'll see when we get to that story what I end up doing with that card. For this, I'm just showing you guys what I'm adding into my Project Life pocket. I did go ahead and write out some notes there, just reminding myself to take one photo every day, and then that is going to do it. All right, friends, that completes my project planning for today using this time of day kit from Future Craft. So out of that kit, I was able to pull out 3 solid stories, which I'm really excited to tell, and a week of Project Life. And then I'm also going to use that baking stamp set or the cooking stamp set to see if I can just make a cluster of embellishments, just a little pile of them that I can use potentially in the future on some kind of cookbook of our favorite recipes. That's something that's been on my to-do list for something to make. So that will give me a good opportunity to use that stamp set as well. I hope that you enjoyed seeing me plan out all of these projects, and maybe watching this video will have given you some ideas for stories that you can tell as well, whether you're using this kit or any other kit. Now, this one does go live today, so if it is something that you are interested in, then I would highly recommend heading over to the Future Craft website to go ahead and secure your purchase, because these types of kits tend to sell out pretty quickly. So, just as a good heads up for you guys there. But like I said, whether you have this kit or you have any other product on your hands, these are stories that you can totally tell using whatever you have in your stash. So don't feel like you have to get this one. So there's that anyway. All right, you guys. Well, if you enjoyed seeing all of these projects come together, or project ideas come together, I would love a thumbs up on this video down below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can see all of my future crafty videos. I will have an additional video coming out today putting together one of these projects. I might make it this 12 by 12 one, because that actually makes me feel pretty excited. So either that one or the evening routine for my son. So it'll either be a story for my son or my daughter. We'll see how I'm feeling here, and we'll go from there. So check out that video if you're interested. Otherwise, until next time, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, friends.